of the old days. Proof changed it all, rewrote the scene. Mathematics reign, no in between. A world of truth, no need to pretend. Proof of everything, start to the end. No more debates, no lines to blur. The chain speaks loud, its voice is pure. Connection seamless, barriers fall. Proofs hold the keys, they answer the call. Binary beats pulsing through the core. The proof of life, it opens the door. Paratronic dreams, they've come alive. Post-proof era, where we thrive. Proofs changed it all, rewrote the scene. Mathematics reign, no in between. A world of truth, no need to pretend. Prove everything, start to the end.
Hello, hello. Welcome one, welcome all. We are super excited today to launch the first Highly Testnet, which I'm sure will be the first of many, as this is the beginning of a very exciting journey for Highly. We are coming to you live from one of the hubs of modern day cryptography, the beautiful city of Paris, France. And I'm joined here by the Highly team co-founders Sylve Chevet and Lancelot de Ferrière, who also happen to be sitting right across from me. We will be introducing this testnet to you live. I'm really excited for you to hear from them, but before I hand it over to them, just a couple notes on structure for this live stream. So you can expect this to go on for roughly 30 to 45 minutes. We will first introduce the Highly architecture to you. Highly is a new L1 and we're excited to present it to you. And then we will have some words actually from a special friend of ours over at Boundless, Shiv Shankar. And then we will be showing the testnet to you live. Please remember, a testnet is a testnet. Sometimes testnets break, unexpected things happen, that's okay. We're rolling with all the punches. We're just really proud and excited to show you what the team has built. And then at the end of this live stream, we will be sharing some access codes, so please buckle in for the ride. And with all of that said, I'm going to hand over now to you, Sylve, to introduce Highly to everyone.
Thank you very much, Abby. I'm super excited to be here today, so thank you very much for putting all of this together. So it's a big day today. We are announcing Testnet 1 launch for Highly. This is the culmination of many months of work from the entire Highly team, and I'm just super pumped to be showing it. So we did the whole thing. We've got new merch, we've got a new name, We've got preuve de divulgation de connaissances in the t-shirts. It's going to be lit. So, a bit of a reminder of what we do over here at Highly. Highly is a proof-powered layer 1 blockchain that we built from the ground up to power the next generation of applications. Our friends over at House of ZK have put it very, very succinctly, and these are their words, not ours. Highly is what Ethereum would look like if it were built today. So it's very bombastic. Let's unpack it a little bit. When we set out on this course of blockchain with my co-founder Lancelot, we initially started with Caro and the token ecosystem, and we really became enamored with the idea of proofs. So proofs allow you to prove a statement without revealing everything. It was first used in privacy, then it's used in scaling for rollups, but we always had this nagging feeling that we were always kind of hacking proofs into blockchain, that we were going into extreme length to make sure that we could fit this great piece of technology into the constraints of blockchains. So we sat down some month ago and we thought, okay, what if we built a network from the ground up that is made for proofs? What if we did the opposite? And the reason we wanted to build this is because something happened in the year 23, 24, which is that proofs went from being a piece of arcane knowledge that only PhDs or cryptographers could work with to something any developer could work with. And this is mainly due to something called ZKVMs that allow you to build Rust applications and just prove them straight up. You do not need to be a cryptographer. And this is a completely unfair advantage that Highly has over other proof-powered or proof chains such as Mina or Elio. We are standing on the shoulders of giants here. These folks were extremely early to the game, but they had to work so hard to build a proof system and everything else. What we can do over at Highly is speed run the blockchain endgame because there is currently fantastic options for developers to use for proving without us having to rebuild everything from the ground up. So to put it very succinctly, this is what we do over at Highly, and this is how Highly works. Proofs, 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 proofs. Everything on Highly is a proof. We have designed the entire network to make sure that it is possible to really milk out every single thing that proof-powered applications can do. So let's give you really more concrete details of how we've designed Highly. We've looked at 3 big problems on the blockchain space. It's very slow, applications are limited, and if you use blockchains, wallets suck. So are we stuck using MetaMask for the rest of our lives? Is this the end? Is this the end of history for blockchain? So we looked at every single one of these problems and we said, okay, how can we solve it in an actually innovative way? So first of all, we have no execution. Highly doesn't run the EVM, it doesn't run the SVM. Highly sequences transactions really quickly with a very fast DA layer and verifies proofs. That's it. This is the minimum that a blockchain should do, and it allows us to have extreme speed with no decentralization trade-off. Second, apps are limited, everything else. So what do? We let the developer manage storage in any way they want. They can just send a proof on chain and Highly will guarantee this. This means that you can have much bigger applications. And finally, and it's a bit more complex, we'll gloss over this quickly, we rely on proofs to prove the user's identity. This means that eventually you will be able to log in on Highly using your passport or your ID card. We recently, people usually ask us the question, why are we on L1? So we wrote a blog post about this recently that I think Abby is going to show on the screen over here. And happy to take any questions later on. What does this give you as an application developer? Like, what does this actually mean? There was a really good comment by someone on the podcast recently who said, legacy chains do not care about developers. They care about validators. And indeed, for Web3 to thrive, we really need to make it easy for developers to do their work. The final objective of this whole thing is to be on par with Web2. And what does that mean? That means that we need, in the next years, to be able to vibe code a decentralized application. Otherwise, we're just going to be left in the dust. So what does Highly give you as an application developer? It allows you to really get the most out of proofs. You can build verifiable applications in a matter of hours. You do not need to wrestle with different stacks. You can just get ready with Rust and get going. Every single application on Highly runs as a based ZK rollup. This means that you have full control over block space, no problem with congestion. You can have ticks, you can have whatever you want, and you're still completely interoperable with the rest of the ecosystem. And the great thing with using proofs is that we're completely abstracting the difficulties of working with execution environments. You choose the execution environment, and Highly will make sure that we verify the proof. We took a really big bet by building Highly, and the reason we've done it is because we believe that there is a new world order that's coming up for applications. We know that this future is going to be signed and verified. We know that there's going to be much more data that is signed and that can be seamlessly ported on chain to build incredible decentralized finance application. We already have plans for a second testnet leveraging signed data and passports, so not spoiling too much there. But the reason we're doing all of this at Highly is because we are convinced that only radical new stance, a radical new architecture, can harness the power of proofs, and that this is not the end of history for blockchain. We're not stuck adding more EIPs and hoping that everything goes for the best. So let's talk a little bit about the testnet. It was a very ambitious project. So in 9 months, we shipped an entire new blockchain, Rust blockchain client, the first implementation of the Autobahn consensus algorithm. The testnet is going to run in a decentralized mode with actual consensus. We support 3 main proving backends, and we built applications ourselves. We built everything from the ground up. And the reason we did this is because we know we're the underdogs, but there's a saying in French which is impossible n'est pas français, meaning impossible is not a word that we know in French. Fortunately for us, we're not alone in this fight because it's a big undertaking. Highly is a team of less than 10 people. So we can count on our partners and we stand on the shoulders of giants. So thank you very much to the Boundless team and the ReZero team for their help in helping prove this testnet. Over to you, Shiv.
Amazing. We're gonna go ahead and bring Shiv up on screen now, and Steve, if you could stop the screen share, we're going to go back to the main page. And there we go. We have Shiv. We have Shiv here with us today to say a couple words. Thank you so much for joining us, and over to you.
I'm super excited to be here. It's fantastic to be a part of a celebration of with a different team, right? But in a lot of ways, all ZK teams are sort of brothers in arms. Every step forward for every team is a step forward for the industry. So I'm super happy to be here. Just a quick couple of words about myself. My name is Shiv. I'm the CEO of Boundless, which is the ZK protocol currently powered by ReZero. And the reason why I'm here is not just to talk a little bit about the partnership between Highly and Boundless, but also to talk about the future that both of us envision together. Highly's network and Boundless are not only compatible, but it also, in a weird way, feels like it was co-designed. I think the quick, 3-minute presentation aside, like I highly encourage everybody to go read the blog post I did. I think I share House of ZK's opinion on this as well. Like, I think the reason why Ethereum was designed the way it was because ZK was too early. And I do believe ZK has arrived. The moment has arrived. And teams like Highly, projects like Boundless, we are well positioned to help accelerate the adoption of the principles of Web3 and map them to the UX of Web2 and bring it to the millions of people who really sort of yearn for that experience. Um, I think audiobooks are all the craze right now, and everybody keeps talking about them. I really do think that's a very good sort of example of what we could do with the power of Highly as well as Risk Zero powered networks like Boundless, and how we could bring the best of both worlds, Web 2 and Web 3, to all the customers and users. And in a lot of ways, I do believe ZK has the potential to erase this notion of Web 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. It's all about just what do I need from my application to live in this new digital world where there are AI agents, where there is security issues. The government is moving kind of slow in like securing your digital presence. How do you self custody yourself? ZK answers quite a lot of those questions. Recently, I was talking to someone on a podcast around the fact that the succinctness property of ZK made it compatible with blockchains, but actually ZK's real sort of killer move is privacy. So you get scale with privacy. What else could anyone ask for? I'm hoping to see lots of brilliant things from the Highly team. I'm going to be in France soon. I'm going to try and swing by your office and your events. I think the next 12 months for relationship between Boundless and Highly is going to be amazing. We're going to do brilliant things. I can't wait to get my own activation code and try out a few things. And I really like that you started by saying like, testnets, sometimes there's issues. I would think so. We are building the future. I want to see the rough edges because that just means there's more work to be done. So yeah, looking forward to like an amazing year, your path to mainnet and our work that we can do together.
Amazing. Thank you so much for those words. That
Thank
was
you,
really wonderful to hear. And we're going to have you stay on screen here, and we're actually going to be joined by a couple more friends of Heidi's right here. Hi guys. We are currently being joined by Mashe from VLayer and Nicholas Baca, who was one of the co-founders of Ledger and is now over at ZK Knox. We thought it would just be fun to have some more friends on this live stream as we show this testnet to you all for the first time, because the three of us have seen this testnet so many times, so if we just show it to ourselves, we won't be surprised by anything. And so thank you so much for taking the time. I know, Nicholas, you're also on the train, so appreciate you just popping into this live stream to keep us company and enjoy the time. And with that, I am now going to hand it back over to Sylvain for the moment that a lot of you all have been waiting for, the time to introduce the testnet itself. Okay, back to you, Sylvain.
So, as we said in the beginning, and thank you both, Maciek and Nicholas, for being here, really means a lot. It's a testnet, and we're putting the test back in testnet, so we're doing this live, fuck it. And just like in Mad Max, witness me, so this is the warplane that I'm gonna put on, because like, this may go in many different ways, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fucking awesome. So without further ado, let's show you the Highly testnet. Everyone see my screen? Does it work? Yes. Let's do it.
So this is it. We've landed on the post-proof world page. We created this world over the last couple months, just kind of dreaming up what it would look like to kind of think of this imaginary world on Mars.
Yeah, we didn't want to have like just a testnet that would be a static page of like an app store or something else. We wanted something that felt more homey, more vibey, something that looked more like us. So we said, okay, what is it? Like everyone's always talking about, oh, let's go on the moon, we're gonna land on the moon. So we said, okay, you know what? Let's actually go on Mars. And because we really like orange, we're gonna say, okay, let's make it orange. So you know what? Let's do it. So here it is. You've just landed on Mars, and there's something that's flashing in the middle of the screen. So what do you think that is, Abby?
I think that we have found our first creature / app that is part of the Highly testnet. So we're kind of going to do a run through for you guys. I'm going to just be asking some questions. So first of all, what are we looking at? What is this kind of question?
So, as we said, like the reason we wanted to do this testnet was really to stress test everything, and we also wanted to make it like a bit more humane or a bit more fun than what you usually see. So what you're gonna see here is what we bombastically call the first ZK-approved life form, and it's the Hailigachi. So it works exactly like a Tamagotchi, so you need to take care of it and everything else. But everything that you're going to see here, every action, every tick of this game, is actually a zero-knowledge proof that gets sequenced and verified, then settled on Haili. So in order to start, I'm going to create a wallet just like in any good blockchain application. But because this is 2025, I am not going to need a mnemonic. So let's see exactly how this works. I'm going to choose a username, let's call it demo. I'm going to choose a password, which I will not reveal, and an invite code. This testnet has an invite code. So what's going to happen now is that I will generate a zero-knowledge proof that I am in, I know what the password is, and it's going to provision a session key on my browser. What does that whole mean? That whole thing means that I can now sign transactions without like MetaMask popping up every single time. And the way I provision the session key is by generating a noir proof on my browser directly without revealing it to the network that I know what my password is. So really, really proud of that piece of UX.
So let's take a step back a little bit, and it looks like this Hailigachi is a key part of this testnet. I believe that the goal is to keep the Hailigachi alive as long as possible.
Exactly.
Could you give people a run through about how you can keep your Hailigachi alive?
Absolutely. So if you already played a Hailigachi in real life, you'll know that there are 3 buttons at the bottom of the screen. So it operates the same way. So let's go through the tutorial here. Oh, help me. You've discovered a lost alien creature. It crash landed near an orange grove because obviously there are orange groves on Mars. What should we call this little friend? Give them a name. Let's call it Paris. Please take care of the alien. Make sure to keep him happy and healthy. And so what happens, what do you think happens if the Hailigachi, oh, there we go, that works. So there we go. The Hailigachi has been activated, a transaction has been sent on chain, a proof has been generated, and it's just vibing over there. So just like a normal Tamagotchi, you actually need to make sure that its stats are okay. So here you need to keep it fed, happy, and also healthy. And so how do you do this? And that's the whole trick of this testnet. The whole purpose of the testnet is to make sure that the Hailigachi stays alive. So for example, if you want to feed it, you need to feed it oranges. And oranges are tokens. And to earn oranges, you need to play a specific minigame.
That's amazing. So it sounds like there's a couple things that the Hailigachi needs to stay alive. So one of those is food, one of those is that it needs to be healthy, and then the third is that it needs to be happy.
Yep.
It also sounds like there's different tokens that correspond to each of those 3. Why don't we take these in turn for the audience and talk them through it? So the first one that the Hailigachi is going to need is food, which is oranges. How do people get oranges on the Haili testnet?
So let's say I want to eat it, and I'm going to check here, and oh, I do not have any oranges, so I need to get them. So to do this, I will cycle through the options. Orange. To get more orange, you need to play Orange Ninja. How does that work? So let's click over there. So now we have landed onto the second application of the Haili testnet. So we call this Faucet Ninja. It's our own take on what a faucet is. So if you've already used a testnet or a blockchain application, you know that there are faucets. You put your address in, you pass a Sybil resistant thing, and then you get some tokens and you're off to the races. But that's boring. How can we make it funnier? And so we decided to build this. So this thing is, it's an entirely separate ZK-based application from the one that you saw earlier. So think of this as like its own ZK rollup that is sequencing and verifying proofs directly on Haili in a completely different manner from the Hailigachi. And so because this is a separate application, I will need to log in again. And as you'll see, I will log in with the exact same address. So my username is demo. And there we go, I'm logged in. So here, the equivalent in the Ethereum world, for example, would be I have created a wallet on Arbitrum and it magically appears on Testnet, for example. That's what's going on here.
Can you show the oranges flashing and then the bomb flashing? What happens?
So here, I'm going to get, let's say, like about 20 tokens. It's going to take a bit of time. Say 10. Okay, I'm a noob clicker, but at least I'm getting there. What happens every time I slice is that a blob gets sent to Highly, gets sequenced immediately, so that's why you get like these little feedback over there. And then it's going to get proved. So every single slice that you see here is a transaction, and it's also a proof, and we're going to be able to see that in the Explorer a bit later on. And so there's a little board over here. As you can see, the Highly team has been hard at work these past days slicing these oranges. And be careful because if you're going to have to slice a lot more in order to make sure that your balance doesn't go into negative.
That's amazing. So that's the first app that we're showing here. This is how you get your highly gotchi bunch of oranges and keep it alive through food. The other thing that it needs is that it needs to stay healthy. So it needs vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
There's another game for that. We might not play all of these games live because sometimes there's a couple steps that are involved with them, but let's go ahead and show the game that is going to allow your highly gotchi to get its vitamins to stay alive.
Let's do it. So I'm coming back to the main page, and if I exit the highly gotchi, you can see that we built a whole scenery, and some of them are actually still hidden. So there's still more stuff. Shiv was talking about something like a provable exchange. We won't say too much about it, but it may be something that you will see on the top of this hill next week. So you can see the different applications over there. You can also play on your mobile phone directly. You can also check out the transactions directly on the Highly Explorer. And as you can see, that's just me. That's slicing the transactions, and the blobs get sequenced. And then over here, these are proofs that have clicked and sliced different transactions. So back over here, how do I know how many tokens I have? I can just click over here on this fruit, on this tree. I log in again, demo, self, and there we go. Built, because we had too much time to spare, we also built an entire wallet for this whole thing. And here you can see I have the 16 oranges that I have sliced from the other application. I can send, receive, but as you can see, I don't have any oxygen. So how do we get oxygen, Oslo?
So we actually have two other games because you want to feed your Tamagotchi. So there's oxygens and there's vitamins. I don't actually know in which order you want to do this.
I think we're just going to go, we don't want to spoil the entire thing.
Okay, we don't want to spoil the entire thing. So we're just going to get oxygen.
Yeah.
And the idea to get oxygen is that you have to go foraging into the wilderness of Mars. And then the question is, well, can you make it back?
Yeah,
back to base.
There. And so we're going to play, and if you get lost in all these things, don't worry, you can always come back to the Highly Gotchi. So this is this button over here. To get more vitamin, you need to play Orange Trail. So let's enter. There we go. Orange Trail. Okay, we fucked it up. It's oxygen, but it's good.
O2 is oxygen.
O2 is oxygen. Yeah.
Who knew?
Who knew? So I'm going to connect again. This is generating a zero-knowledge proof that I know my password, provisioning a session key for my game, and the login has been successful. So how much orange do I want to play with? Let's say 16. And so this is a very complex game. It took us a lot of time to build it. We vibe coded a lot of it, and it was a result of many internal hackathons. As you can see over here, we've got Alex, Max, Bertrand, Lancelot who are set up. They're all in the other room waiting to play. And so this is a multiplayer game. Think of it as a bit like Mario Party or one of these board games where every turn that we take, there's a chance that we play a mini game. And then we have to bet at every turn. So without further ado, let's play the game.
We're waiting to make sure that his joining has been confirmed just to make sure that we don't have an issue right from the get-go. But so far it's working.
We good to go?
Almost.
Almost. So the difference between Orange Trail versus the other games that you have seen is that
We're good to go.
you're good to go?
Yeah.
Okay, I will not spoil you. And without further ado, let's start the game. So we're off to the races. We need to place our first bet. So they're all much richer than me, so I'm the underdog. Oh boy. Is it good? You can still see my screen?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I placed my bet and I shall spin the wheel for what is going to happen. Today's a quiet day. Okay, easy. What do you think is going to happen next? There is no way I'm winning this game, right? I have like 16 coins, you all have 100.
There's fumbles and there's a bunch of things that could happen. Ooh.
Okay, we're playing the mini game. So this is a crash game. The objective is apply bet. As you can see, it's very fast, and that's because the transactions are getting sequenced extremely quickly on Highly. So we're generating the proofs in the background while we're playing the game, but you get instant feedback because the transactions are getting sequenced directly on the chain. So that's how you can get like quick type of things. Everything you see here is happening on chain. So let's bet again. Oh man, I only have 18 now. I need to take much more risk. This is like 2x or nothing. Okay, witness me. I'm going to ×2, I don't care. Okay, it's even less likely that I'm going to win now. I lost 5 more coins. The coins are oxygen. Okay, you know, I have coins, 5 left. Spin the wheel, let's do it. All or nothing, oh boy, that means that everyone needs to bet their money. So this is very, very dangerous. And that's, okay, I can still make it. Fumble, that means we take a bet and we're all going to swap.
But now you have 154 tokens.
So this is how I win. Because everyone had to bet and we swapped them out, oh boy. And now we're swapping again. It's my favorite game of the entire test.
So something that's fun about this game is that you can play it with all your friends at the same time. You basically just tell them to all log in at the same time. You all create your wallets. You get ready to go, and then it's a betting game where you try and be the person who wins the most and stays alive the longest, essentially. So this was a really fun overview of Orange Trail.
This is the final game. I want to see who wins. 2x. I don't care. Oh boy, where are they going? I lost everything. As you can see, I managed to get 100 coins and I lost everything. So Lancelot is a big winner of this game. So he's just won 136 oxygen. Congrats, Lancelot. How are the proofs on the Explorer? Everything is getting sequenced?
Things are getting sequenced.
Things are getting sequenced.
Things are getting sequenced.
That's the thing.
If we're lucky,
we might even see them proved and verified in real time.
Well, you lost, so you won't have any.
Yeah, I lost everything.
You won't have any oxygen.
So let's just do a little recap then. So what that game gave the Highly Gotchi is oxygen tokens.
Yeah.
It needs to receive oxygen tokens to stay alive. Now, it seems like there's one other category that it needs, which is that it needs its vitamins.
Yes.
Because it needs to stay healthy. What can the Highly Gotchi do to get its vitamins to stay healthy?
So you need vitamins when your Highly Gotchi gets... Oh, okay, it worked. Lancelot is now extremely rich in oxygen. So there's if your Highly Gotchi is feeling a little hungry, there's a higher chance, or unhappy, there's a higher chance that it's going to get sick. And if it gets sick, then you need vitamins in order to cure it. And so to get vitamins, you need to play Easy Casino. This is the last game that we have built. You feeling like we do it?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Same thing, this is another basic hero roll-up, completely separate from the other, and we log in the exact same fashion. I'm going to create a zero knowledge proof, now you know the password, the session key, And as usual, as for all the other applications, every time you make a move, oh yeah, sorry, I can't play. I lost all my oranges. Because I lost all my oranges, so I cannot play the game. But the way you play is that you get the oranges, you put them, you deposit them in Easy Casino, and then you can play inside the casino. The reason we wanted to build a casino is because we thought, oh, what would humans do the minute they land on Mars outside of government control? Obviously, they're going to create interplanetary Macau. So we built Easy Casino. So this is a blackjack game. It uses on-chain randomness and actually some really clever trick to make sure that you cannot read what the next card is going to be just by looking at the chain. And if you're lucky enough, you might get your vitamins out of this game in order to feed your little guy who's right over there. Look at it kicking.
That is perfect. So we've covered the 3 different categories that the Highly Gotchi needs. Now, if you have looked closely enough, every once in a while, your Highly Gotchi goes number 2, which is something I've never said on a live stream and probably never will again. But you have to clean the Highly Gotchi and keep him healthy. Can you explain a little bit more about that as well?
Yeah, so in the background, there is a provable server that's going to send an update to all the Highly Gotchis running on Highly to update their state. And one of their state is poop. So there is a chance that in the next hour, your Highly Gotchi would have gone number 2. So in order to clean what they're doing, you need to go to this button, press enter, and you clean it.
I love it.
And if you do not clean it, it's gonna get unhappy, it's gonna get sick, and then you need vitamins, and then you need to go back to the casino.
Amazing, I love it. Why don't we go back to the main screen and bring up the worlds again of the testnet. Can you tell us a little bit more about any features that will be coming soon in the next few weeks? What should people kind of keep an eye out?
Yeah, so as you can see, there's still some stuff that are hidden in the background. The objective for us with this testnet is really to stress test everything. So as a reminder, every single thing that you see here, all these on-chain games are fully on-chain. We send transactions on Highly and we request proofs to proven networks. This is all happening live. I think we're going to be creating the most amount of proofs that anyone has done before. So I'm really, really pumped about it. But it can be pretty tricky to keep your Highly Gotchi alive if you don't play all the different games. So what we're going to do is to add, and slight spoiler, we're going to build a fully provable order book. It should be out in a couple of weeks. So that if you feel lazy and you don't want to play Degen Orange Trail to get your oxygen, you can just trade your oranges against another token. And this thing will be running as a fully provable server, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. We are going to go and just pull back the normal view. Well, thank you so much to all of our friends for watching this live with us. As we said earlier, we're testing, sometimes things break, and so I'm honestly just happy that we got through a live stream, which is sometimes a bold decision when you're going into testnet, but we tested it live. Super happy about that. And as a next step, something that we want to do is to actually go ahead and share some access codes with you all. And so, oh, no, I'm getting a little message.
Yeah, we are.
Over to you.
Just gonna say that we had IP protection on the testnet to make sure it was a controlled environment for the demo. So it might take a couple of minutes for people to actually access it. Anyways, I'm setting that up now.
That was a great call out. We decided that would be safer while we went live on this live stream, but that will be taken care of. And so we will be opening up the testnet progressively to more and more people to play on it. We're doing it incrementally because obviously as users come on, it will stress test the testnet more. But with that said, we're going to release our first batch of codes live. Each code has a certain amount of access points to the testnet. And any final words before we share these codes from you, or are we ready to?
I'm just really proud of everything that we've done. So I really want to give a shout out to the entire Hailey team. I don't know if you can see them over there, but they're like really stressed out and playing Orange Trail. So folks, say hi. This is the proof that you can actually build an entire blockchain from the ground up with blood, sweat, and tears, and Mars and little like orange characters. You can just ship things, folks. That's about it.
Amazing. There's a 20 to 30 second delay, so I think now they're all waving at us, but they didn't see it because they're watching the live with a little bit of a delay. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We are going to put the codes up now. So here are the first access codes to the Hailey testnet. As Nostra said, it might not be immediately active. That's because
Did we show the URL?
Did we show the?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have the QR code right now in the upper left-hand side on the screen, so you can just go ahead and scan that. And we can also actually add it in the captions here. I'm going to drop the URL live here, adding it to.
So we're pretty proud of the URL. It's on Hailey.fun, HYLI.fun. So congrats, Lancelot, for finding out this one.
Because we want you guys to have as much fun as the whole team did building this. Cool. Well, thank you so much to all of our partners. Thank you to you for joining in. I think Nicola had a bit of a travel issue and so had to hop off early. But thank you to all of you to just your time for coming and joining this live stream. Thank you to the 6,000 people watching this live and to all the people who will watch it after we post it and keep it up on all of our social channels. And please remember, this is just the beginning and Hailey is getting started and it's an exciting time.
Good luck to the Boundless team who's going to receive a bunch of proofs in the next minutes.
Good job, folks. Thank you all. This was fun.
With that, I believe that it is over and out from us. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your days.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Ciao.
Thank you, guys. Bye bye.